Hello, welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of Crop Life and Crop Life Iron magazines, here with Lara Sowinski, who I guess is hiding out indoors these days, given the heat warnings I keep hearing about in her neck of the woods there in Texas. Laura, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I took off my sunglasses just for this recording, but yeah, it's been hot as all get out here.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to the radio this morning, and I think they said there's like 14 states that are under some type of heat advisory, and the majority of them out west. And it mentioned Nevada and all of California and Arizona. Oh, and by the way, Texas. This is where you happen to reside. So,
Yep. I think it's gonna break, and we'll get down to 103 or thereabouts.
Wow, break out the winter coat, I guess. So.
Exactly.
That's assuming you still own one, but all right. Anyhow, may have burned up in the heat. Who knows?
Right.
All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna kick the video over to you because I guess you have some news to share regarding potential strikes, and of course our favorite event coming up here in a few weeks, Tech Hub Live.
Yes, indeed. We have been following, of course, a couple of labor developments, both on the maritime side and on the parcel delivery side, UPS and Teamsters to be exact. But last few days, it seems like Canadian-based Nutrien has announced that they're curtailing production of potash from their Corey potash mine in Saskatchewan because of limited export capacity at Canada's Port of Vancouver. So in addition to the longshore workers on the U.S. West Coast who are threatening to strike, we have the ILWU of Canada that on July 1st, 7,500 workers in that union walked out, and impacting exports, imports. And then as of yesterday, Canada's Labor Minister, Seamus O'Regan, has stepped in to try and mediate between the ILWU Canada and the British Columbia Maritime Employers Association, essentially the waterfront employers. So that's bad. Compounding those difficulties, longshore workers in the U.S. are refusing to handle containers that are being diverted from Canada's Port of Vancouver down to Seattle. So in a show of solidarity with ILWU Canada. So that's tough. So Canada's Port of Vancouver, Port of Prince Rupert, both, things are getting pretty tight there. So unfortunately, nothing good to report there. Likewise, this week, the Teamsters are accusing UPS of pushing back second quarter earnings results to August 8th as an attempt to kind of conceal, what the earnings are as the two grapple with negotiations, which aren't going well. So as we know, the Teamsters have threatened to walk out when the contract with UPS expires at the end of this month on July 31st. So that would involve 340,000 UPS workers. So yeah, kind of not happy news on the labor front there. But I do have something good, these days, because things have been so grim. I pounce on good news when it comes across our desk. So on July 11th, USDA's Secretary Tom Vilsack announced the Senate confirmation of Xochitl Torres Small. She will be the number 2 in charge there at USDA. She will be the deputy secretary for USDA.
Yeah, so I saw that item as well, and yep. I ran across some of the numbers on the Senate vote. Was 84 yeas and 8 noes, which And again, that's, in this day and age, for anybody to get 84 votes out of the Senate on anything is pretty impressive. So congratulations to her. Yeah, looking forward to her being in the number 2 role to Tom. And speaking of women in agriculture, I'm sure you can enlighten us a little bit more as well on that front.
Indeed. So we are preparing for our Women in Ag Tech in-person meeting on July 24th, and that's also when Tech Hub Live kicks off in Des Moines with the welcome party that evening. But our Women in Ag Tech meeting will take place on July 24th. We have, about 80 women that are likely to attend. Actually, maybe even a little bit more, but I think it's safe to say we'll probably have about 80 women there. Our guest speaker is Dr. Karen St. Germain. She heads up, she's the director for the Earth Sciences division there at NASA. And I've said this in the past, but I was telling somebody about Karen the other day, and I was reminded of what the NASA folks told me regarding her role at NASA. And they said, yeah, she is a big deal. Every satellite orbiting the Earth that faces the Earth, she has responsibility for. So we are super excited to hear from her. And that will be on July 24th from 2 to 5:15. And we have a wonderful networking reception after that meeting. Once we hear from Karen, I'll do a little Q&A with her. Then we'll open it up to the audience for questions. In addition to hearing from Karen, we are going to break up into roundtables. Women in Ag Tech is truly a for the people, by the people, in that the direction and the content and our reason for being is not dictated by Meister Media. Indeed, this is truly a crowdsourced, organically grown, what do we want it to look like and where are we going from here kind of thing. So during that first in-person meeting, we'll be breaking up into roundtables, and each with a specific goal to identify certain goals and pillars for the initiative. Networking is the number one thing that we heard back. The women who responded to our survey as to what do you want women in ag tech to be for you. Networking, collaboration, interacting with peers, learning more about ag tech, how do we work together. Mentoring is another aspect of this group. So we'll kind of roll up our sleeves and dig down into those things during our meeting. And that's on Monday. Tech Hub Live, wow, I can't say. We have 90 speakers on it this year, which is phenomenal. And it really speaks to not only the enthusiasm around ag tech, the interest around ag tech, but the diversity around it too. We talk about the different ways that we're going to handle all this content and share it. And in addition to our panel sessions and our general sessions with our keynote, for instance, NASA's Dr. Palissa Woodcraft, panel sessions, our fireside chats. You and I have a full roster this year.
Yeah, I know people have been reaching out to me. Yeah, they've been reaching out to me saying, hey, do you get a little time to meet? And I'm looking at my calendar and my schedule, and I'm like, let's see. I think I have a 3-minute bathroom break in there somewhere I could skip. Maybe we can pitch in then. Yeah, it is amazing how many people. I'm amazed we can have that many speakers in such what seems will be a short amount of time. But yeah, like you said, it's jam-packed, and it'll be a lot of good information. Hopefully we can, for folks who can't join us in person to see it and hear it all for themselves, we'll be able to enlighten them after the fact with as many details as we possibly can.
Right. In fact, I have to say, of course, we're in the final stretch. We're days away from the program, which, really kicks off on July 24th. But every day now we continue to even add to the program. Just this week, we heard from the FBI's Omaha division. That division is responsible for cybersecurity and security threats with regards to agriculture. So we'll have two representatives from the FBI that will be in attendance. We just secured that this week, and they will also be providing a roundtable discussion. They'll be on the roundtable roster, and again, that roster, all of our roundtables are filled up. We had a spot for them that they took that last spot, so we'll hear from them. We have a full program, absolutely everything that is on the mind of ag retailers and the farmer customer. Not only kind of the big overarching macro trends and developments, but getting down to the nitty gritty as well. So the diversity in the program, kind of bird's eye view and worm's view. It's great. We really, the speakers, the content, the different perspectives, and the different ways that we're going to offer the content. And surprisingly enough, we do have plenty of networking time built in there as well. So I really have to say we're just super excited about this program and can't wait to get to Des Moines and get it going.
No, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure everybody who's listening is as well. And again, if you can join us in Des Moines, if it's already on your calendar, great. We'll see you there. And if you are still considering it, there's still time. So please come and join us here in a couple of weeks in Des Moines, Iowa for Tech Hub Live 2023.
Yeah, and if you see a blur rushing down the hallway, that's either you or I, right? Running from one session to the next. So, but yeah.
Yes. Although we may be, since we'll be on stage a lot, we may be a little more dressed up than most folks, but it'll be a nice looking blur. Let's put it that way. So,
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, a couple other bits of information to share. Put this one down under the rumor mill portion of our video. There's some speculation coming out of Europe that our friends at Bayer are actually considering perhaps spinning off their crop science division into a separate company. Again, this, like I say, at this point is strictly a rumor. Not sure if it's going to happen or not, but if that does go down, it'll be as interesting. Remember a few years ago when DuPont and Dow got together, they actually split into three companies. One was Dow, one was DuPont, but the crop protection side became Corteva, which we all know and love in the marketplace. But it'll be interesting to see if Bayer does spin off, what the new name would be of the group, and exactly what the makeup of that division, that company, that new company might be. So we'll have to keep you posted on this. But like I said, at the moment, just a rumor. Not sure if it'll happen or not, but if it does, we will keep you informed.
Interesting, yeah.
And then another thing, this is more on the solid front. Of course, there's been a lot of activity in the area of biologicals, and one of the leaders in the marketplace is Syngenta with their Syngenta Biologicals group. And our friends at Syngenta announced this week that they are going to actually bring all of their biological entities under the Syngenta Biologicals umbrella. So that'll include, of course, the Valagro group, which is a popular maker of biostimulants and specialty nutrients that Syngenta acquired back in 2020. So with this move, according to Corey Huck, the global head of Syngenta Biologicals, this move will reinforce the company's strategy to provide users with more complementary product and technology choices, and underpins the determination of the company to be a collaborator of choice and to make agriculture more sustainable. So again, that move is going down, and so now in the future, if you're looking for biologicals from Syngenta, it'll be under a single company banner. Well, then let us end on, I know you've been throwing a lot of numbers out there regarding Tech Hub and speakers, but my turn for some numbers. Time for fun with numbers. All right, well, let's see if you can maintain the win streak that you are now back on again.
Exactly.
So I got a weird one, a weird number for you this week. I don't know if I've ever done this before, but it was how it was worded in the source material I was looking at. So your number is 2.5 times, 2.5 times.
Okay.
So we could either represent that as the multiplication X or the word times. I'll leave that up to our videographer, which way he goes with the title card on this. So is 2.5 times, is that A, the estimated crop input increase if glyphosate is taken off the market? Is it B, the decline in shipping container costs over the past 6 months? Is it C, the increase in wheat exports to China in 2023? Or is it D, the number of restarts my computer needed this morning after its latest software update? Now, this one's a little tougher. I'm sorry.
You threw in that shipping thing, and now I'm thinking, is that a giveaway that I should? I mean, I know freight rates have dropped significantly. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to go with C, wheat exports.
No, I'm sorry. No, that is not correct. No, your correct answer this week is A.
Oh, A.
Yes, estimated crop input increases if glyphosate is no longer available. This comes from a report that came out earlier this week from our friends at Aimpoint Research. They put out a study that they titled A Future Without Glyphosate, and basically said, some of the numbers in there said if that popular herbicide did disappear from the market, that there would be production cost increases for growers to the tune of $1.9 billion due to the use of increased tillage in their fields to help control weeds that they no longer would have the herbicide to use. And it mentioned that due to the fact that there would be a limited supply of alternatives, and other alternatives might cost more money to actually use in the field if glyphosate wasn't there, that their input costs would surge an estimated 2.5 times over what they are today.
Well,
so again, this report is online. Like I said, Aimpoint Research, A Future Without Glyphosate. So if you're interested in the full report, check it out online, read it for yourself and see what you think. But I thought it was kind of interesting, some of the numbers they threw out in that report.
Yeah, that is interesting. Got it. Well, bummer for me.
It's all right.
I haven't read the report yet, but
That's all right. That's all right. You'll get them next week.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of Crop Life Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj on behalf of myself and everyone here at Crop Life. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comments section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.